They finally are charging someone. 17 individuals have been charged in a street takeover, and it's about time. Let's get over into it and see what we can find out about this whole situation.
17 people are now facing charges in connection with a coordinated street takeover in Randolph. This is what police encountered back in October at the intersection of North Main and Oak Streets. The police chief said it was chaotic and dangerous. Cars were doing donuts in the road. The crowds also set off fireworks. NBC 10's Eli Rosenberg is live in Randolph. After speaking with the chief, what did he have to say, Eli?
Well, JC, it is rare for us to get this view, a police officer rushing into a very chaotic scene. We did talk with the police chief here this afternoon, really praising his officer, saying that officer kept his composure in a story that could have had a far different ending. As soon as that first Randolph police officer arrived, the crowd moving in, blocking, and at times riding on the front hood of that police cruiser. New video of an October street takeover that now has 17 people facing charges.
It was really scary. It definitely felt like the world was ending. It sounded like gunshots, tons of fireworks, people screaming, running.
At times, fireworks appear to be going off on the hood of that police cruiser. And you could see cars spinning out in the intersection, coming so close to hitting those who have gathered. This incident was back in early October at the intersection of North Main and Oak Streets.
It gives you that sick feeling about what could have happened.
Randolph's police chief praising his officers' response. Some of this same group, police say, making their way up to Boston after Randolph. A Boston police SUV set on fire.
This is what happens when people no longer have any respect for the police. They no longer fear consequences of their actions. What do you mean they set a police car on fire? First of all, the taxpayers got to pay for that. And then they're just acting like it does not matter what they do. It's great.
The cruiser could have been engulfed just like you saw in Boston. That he was outnumbered. You cannot get out of a cruiser there with a swarming crowd. And then when the fireworks, you don't know if that's gunfire or fireworks.
Days after this in Randolph and this in Boston, Governor Maura Healey and Mass State Police signaling they were stepping up enforcement of so-called street takeovers. A welcome sign for those who have seen the impact firsthand.
Y'all see that in the, what is that, the left side? There's a girl right there just in the mix.
I'm glad that they took people off the street that are doing that kind of stuff. You know, I have a 14-year-old son, and, you know, to think that these kids were like only a few years older than him, that's kind of crazy.
And talking with the police chief here, he said this was a complex investigation spanning multiple towns and cities, including Boston. And those 17 charges that I mentioned will make their first court appearances tomorrow.
Yep. Yes, they made their first court appearances. We're going to get into that. We've got a video to look at that as well.
Charmin Cicchetti, she's live in Randolph, where that officer of that car is being praised, Charm.
Yeah, Ed, the chief says this chaos could have ended in tragedy, but for the presence of mind of that officer. The Randolph police dash camera video shows a swarm of people surrounding the cruiser, fireworks blowing up on the windshield, masked suspects recording themselves riding and banging on the hood as the cruiser inches forward, cars doing stunts in the distance.
It was chaotic, a tough situation for that officer that night. I don't wish that on any law enforcement officer.
The street takeover happened last October, early on a Sunday morning in Randolph.
We got about 50 to 100, if not more people.
Police say about 100 people were in the road when the first officer arrived on scene.
He was outnumbered. You cannot get out of a cruiser there with a swarming crowd. And then when the fireworks, you don't know if that's gunfire or fireworks, and smoke billowing through the cruiser.
Hours later, a police cruiser was set on fire in another street takeover in Boston. Police believe they're connected.
I believe some of them are the same group.
That Randolph police officer was not hurt. The cruiser did have some damage. The 17 suspects are from Rhode Island, Connecticut, Maine, New Hampshire, New York, and Massachusetts, none from Randolph. They're between 19 and 31 years old.
19 and 31, from multiple different states, not even from that area. They come to a different area to make all this trouble, cause all this destruction, so they can just leave and go about their day without anybody noticing. Let's get over into this next video where we actually hear about them in court.
Some of the 17 people charged in a chaotic street takeover in Randolph last year are facing a judge today. About 100 people were involved in this social media stunt back in October. Thanks for joining us. I'm Paula Eben. Investigators tracked down the suspects after sifting through social media accounts and video for months. WBZ's Penny Commit is live in Quincy with details on the exact charges. Penny?
That's what we want to hear.
Paula, good afternoon. So as you mentioned, about 100 people are estimated to have participated in this massive street takeover back in October. Of that, police say that 17 have been charged and 4 of them faced a judge today. The judge actually called them up as a group. This was Nahome Brook, Haishlin Cabral, David Daniels, and Ashley McLeod, and they're all facing 1 count of conspiracy, with Brooke facing an additional count of negligent operation. Prosecutors say they helped block a Randolph intersection on October 5th, 2025, while drivers performed stunts and donuts. Dashboard video from a police cruiser also shows crowds blocking a car, jumping on it, and setting off fireworks. Investigators say that they tracked down the suspects after digging for months through various social media accounts and security camera footage. Now, they did face a judge. Right now, they are in custody. They're speaking to their attorneys, and we're still awaiting a bail hearing. Once we get an update on that, of course, we'll keep you posted. Live in Quincy, I'm Penny Commit.
And they posted it on social media. They love to post it on social media, which, hey, I'm happy about it because it's able to get them caught quicker. Because these people, come on now, what are you doing? 19? I think they said, didn't they say 31? What is a 31-year-old? See, people are crazy. Let's get over into this AI breakdown to see if it tells us any more details. So as we know, police in Randolph, Massachusetts have charged 17 people for the street takeover that happened on October 5th. The charges were announced on Tuesday, 21st, following a months-long investigation. So the takeover took place on North Main and Oak Street. Estimated 100 people. When the first officer arrived, the crowd swarmed the cruiser, striking it with and lighting fireworks on the hood. They discovered Instagram messages where organizers shared location and explicitly encouraged spectators to block the police. People just want you to go to jail for them at the end of the day. Many of the suspects are believed to have traveled together to multiple takeovers that night in other communities, including Boston, Dedham, I probably say that wrong, Fall River, or Middlebrook. The 17 suspects range in ages from 19 to 31 and are across New England and New York. So their charges include conspiracy, interfering with the police, disorderly conduct, negligent operation of a motor vehicle. And we got the names of the people who were most recently appeared in court, 19, 23, and 20 years old. Already getting a criminal record, already showing they have no respect for the police. The question is, I mean, who are you blaming this on? Are you blaming it on the society or the city of government who don't charge these with harsh enough crimes to stop them from even thinking about it? Or would you put it on the parents who are raising these kids? Because I would never think about doing something like this. My mom drilled that into me at an early age. She took that belt in her other hand, and when I did something crazy, wah, wah, real quick. But let me know your thoughts on that situation, y'all. Let me know how you feel about it. Some people feel like that. I mean, they're not harming nobody, they didn't fight nobody, but hey, at the end of the day, they're causing destruction, and it could have ended very badly. What if the officer who in Boston couldn't get out of his police car before they set it on fire? Some people need to raise their children better. It's as simple as that. and you can't say or, and we need to have harsh penalties for these types of crimes. At least harsh enough to where people understand there's no point in doing it in the first place. But let me know your thoughts on that situation, y'all. Let me know how you feel about it.